Hello and welcome to another week. It's Week in Review on Trust Television. My name is Martia Umar, and in case you missed some of our news bulletin during the week, maybe some of the updates, this is another opportunity for you to catch up. Now, let's take a look at what happened during the week. The week started on a very happy mood, and it was the Salah celebration on Monday. But the President, Muhammadu Buhari, attended Eid prayers like all the Nigerians at the Mambila Barracks praying ground in Abuja. And it is the first Eid celebration after COVID-19 safety protocols were significantly relaxed, but the President did not take chances as he was fully kitted with a face mask. Speaking after the prayers, the President assured Nigerians that the government would continue to pull all stops to ensure that the country became more and more secure. Take a look at the report.
This Salah, the country has been freed from the stranglehold of COVID-19, which means more Nigerians were at the various Eid praying grounds to offer supplications to Allah after a successful Ramadan fast. Even President Buhari would wander out of the safe confines of the presidential villa, accompanied by personal staff and close associates. His message to all Nigerians is that their country will become safer.
Well, that will continue to make the environment secure, especially when the rainy season is coming, so that farmers can go back to their farms and we wouldn't have problem of food security. Heads of services, Army, Navy, Air Force, Inspector General of Police, and so on, are very much aware of the situation and their duties to know where the terrorists are and eliminate them.
Since it's political season and a lot of aspirants have come to seek for his blessing, it is not out of place to wonder who is the president's preferred candidate.
The person that Nigerians elect.
As the Muslim faithful celebrate Salah and offer their prayers to God, all Nigerians look forward to a safer and more prosperous nation. Kehinde Amudu, Trust TV News, Abuja.
And with the ease of COVID-19 lockdown, that was what residents in Kefi experienced, because during Salah, the celebration still continues after the Eid prayer. So the residents of Nasarawa State, Kefi precisely, came out en masse to celebrate their age-long tradition called Hawan Daushe. And Emir of Kefi, Dr. Shehu Chindoya Musa III, emphasized the need to take agriculture, education, politics and security serious to improve their well-being. Gaza Yakubu was there for Trust TV and he filed in this report.
This is how it feels celebrating Doba Festival in Kefi without restriction. Fun, passion, merriment, a showcase of historical embroidered attires, you just name it. With the COVID-19 restriction last year, the street for Doba festivity was deserted and the people isolated.
And we feel bad. We feel, at least we feel it very bad, because we used to do it every year as a culture. Because this is our culture. So we feel bad because we didn't do it last year.
People are disturbed. Actually, we are not happy, but it has come as an incident, so that's not how we can do. But actually, people are not happy but last time.
Doba Festival is an age-long tradition in northern Nigeria. Watching the people of Kefi reviving these culture is a scene to behold. As the emir went round town with his district head to greet the residents and finally retire back to his palace, spectators struggled to catch a glimpse. The celebration of these festivities is usually done the second day of Salah, and it is called Hawan Daushe. In his speech this year, the emir emphasized the need for the people of Kefi to be serious with agriculture, security and education.
Please, let's not forget about agriculture. There's lack of food in the north, so it is necessary to go to the farm. Let us be serious with education, security, and politics. It is getting late already, and I wish everybody well.
Salah Durbar in Kefi used to be a 7-day celebration, but for security reasons it is cut to 3 days. The next event will be held at the Emir's Palace, where local wrestling will be showcased.
How does it feel catching a glimpse of Salah festivity in Kefi? Well, if you ask me, I feel much alive watching their age-long traditions. But the event still continues. Gaza Yakubu, Trust TV News, Kefi.
And in Kano City, the story is not so different, as thousands of residents turned out to witness the annual Durbar Festival, which is part of the activities marking Eid al-Fitr celebration in the state. Trust TV correspondent Idris Jibrin said Emir of Kano, Aminu Adobayero, district heads and other traditional title holders led the procession held at the Emir's Palace in Kofar Kudu in Kano. Take a look.
Kano is again on a fast lane. It is celebration time, and the people of Kano know exactly how to celebrate. This year's Durbar in Kano is unique for several reasons. First, the month of Ramadan has been peaceful owing to improved security situation in the state. Then Kano has a new emir leading the Durbar for the 3rd time since his coronation. Therefore, they stormed the palace, while the emir rode out his troops to the streets of Kano. It is Hawan Daushe Durbar, a world-class traditional entertainment, relentless in its motion, splendid in its color, breathtaking horsemanship, and royal in its presentation.
It was great. Yeah, very, very memorable. Something unique to Nigeria I think more people should see and be aware of.
This is my first ever visit to Nigeria, and it's been one of the most amazing things I've ever seen. And I think it's fabulous that there's such strong tradition and heritage and culture in Nigeria.
Hawan Daushe holds a day after Salah. It is always time-bound, beginning at sunset, ending at 6 p.m. In Hawan Daushe, the emir and his train traditionally pay homage to the King Mother, not far from the palace. Thereafter, the emir marched to the palace to receive homage from his royal train and from the people of Kano. During this occasion, firing of Dane guns by the emir's royal guards is among the special homage for the emir, led by the prominent royal servant known as Maitapari, the king's chief gunman. Thousands of Kano residents, including the state governor Abdullahi Ganduje, top government officials and foreign diplomats, attended the Durbar.
Well, I think the Kano Durbar is a fantastic spectacle. So much color, so much pomp, so much pageantry. And you know, Kano is always number one. Kano, Durbar, Birni, Megala, the Goran Dutse.
We've seen it all. It's fantastic. And that is why we created additional Emirate Council. What you saw today, this evening, took place all over the other 4 Emirate councils. So it is fantastic. It's very interesting.
Hawan Daushe is one segment of the several Durbars in Kano. As the celebration continues, so the Durbar. Idris Jibrin, Trust TV News, Kano.
And while others were celebrating Salah festivities, it wasn't so much of a good story in the Ebute-Metta axis of Lagos. That's the mainland local government area of Lagos State. And there was a 3-story building collapse, and the building located on Ibadan Street reportedly caved in around 9:30 p.m. on Sunday. And according to Daily Trust, the men of the Lagos State Fire and Rescue Service and Lagos State Emergency Management Agency were already at the scene trying to rescued trapped occupant of the building. A source said that 9 residents were rescued from the building. In a video of the incident shared on social media, a large crowd was seen in front of the building. Let's take a look. And also, the Islamic State of West African province killed 3 people in Chibok local government area. And the attack, according to a Chibok resident, started around 6 p.m. and left the villagers fleeing for safety into nearby Sambiso forest, where the terrorists camped. And the attack occurred almost the same time as the UN Secretary General was visiting Borno State for on-the-spot assessment of the level of damage done by Boko Haram insurgency in Borno State. The UN chief who visited Gobio camp immediately when he arrived in Maiduguri told Governor Zulum that he was happy with the condition he met the IDPs and pledged to offer all necessary assistance to ensure the safe return of IDPs to their ancestral homes in line with the state government's resettlement plan. Away from Borno State, President Muhammadu Buhari has condemned the murder of 2 soldiers in Imo State by gunmen, and suspected members of the outlawed indigenous people of Biafra beheaded an army couple, Gloria Matthew and Audu Linus, who were on their way to fulfill their traditional rites in Imo State. In a statement issued by presidential spokesman Garba Shehu, Buhari described the killing of the soldiers as barbaric and alien. The president described the incident as unacceptable, adding that he has directed security agencies to do their utmost in apprehending the perpetrators and bringing them to justice. Meanwhile, the indigenous people of Biafra IPOB has denied any involvement, what it's also called a dastardly and barbaric act of beheading of army couple, saying God will not forgive the people who carried out the heinous act. Members of the Islamic movement Nigeria, popularly known as Shia, alleged that police shot one of the arrested 78 of their members during a peaceful procession in Zaria and Kaduna on Friday. And members of the group, Engineer Yusa Lawal Musa, at a press briefing in Kaduna, also demanded for the unconditional release of the traveling documents of Sheikh Ibrahim El-Zazzaki. And let's take a look at the report from Kaduna State.
The group alleged that police shot one and arrested 78 of their members in Kaduna and Zaria during International Quds Day procession in solidarity with the oppressed people of Palestine, which is observed worldwide in the last Friday of the holy month of Ramadan.
They attacked both Kaduna and Zaria. You understand? And that of Zaria, actually, they have actually even arrested well over 70 people, and they have brought them here to Kaduna day before yesterday. So they are here. So, but there's something that is happening, and the Zaria members are handling that aspect. But our brothers here, 8 of them, were handling it. Our lawyer is at the top of the situation.
While demanding for the unconditional release of the passport of their leader, Sheikh Ibrahim El-Zazzaki, and his wife to proceed for medical trip, the group also called on Nigerians to demand for social justice at all times.
We are calling on all people of conscience to prevail on the government to stop these attacks, and also for the government to unconditionally release the passports of our leader, Sheikh Ibrahim Yaqub El-Zazzaki, and his wife, Malama Zinatuddin Ibrahim. Moreover, we are calling on fellow Nigerians to demand for security, justice, equality, and freedom.
Efforts to contact the police public relations officer Kaduna State Command, ASP Mohammed Jaigeweri, on the issue proved abortive.
You're still watching Week in Review on Trust Television. More stories after the break. Just stay with us. And welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. You are still watching Week in Review on Trust Television. And moving on to more stories, the police in Katsina State during the week uncovered a human trafficking syndicate and rescued 12 victims on their way to Libya. The victims were rescued at Kalugo village of Daura local government area of Katsina State. Abdullahi Yamadi tells us more.
Human trafficking is still very much in operations and knows no boundaries within Nigeria. For instance, these victims are mostly female between the ages of 14 to 35 and are from southern Nigeria.
I rescued the following victims: Madinat Adekeje, female age 39 years of Kwara State; Aminat Kazim, female age 25 years of Oyo State; Orobore Francis, male age 21 years of Edo State; Mike Emuabon, male age 22 years of Edo State; Oladoke Ohunoma, female age 33 years of Edo State; Elizabeth Idimudia, female age 16 years of Edo State; Fatima Ibrahim, female age 25 years of Osun State.
The victims were kept in a house of one Yahya Dahiru Kalugwandaura, who is at large, while efforts are ongoing by the police to arrest him.
The person that is taking you there, okay, how much are you going to pay him?
No, she said I will pay only 1 year.
You will work for 1 year?
Yeah.
Then she will collect the money?
Yeah.
But do you know that going to that place without government approval, without going through the necessary immigration procedures, do you know that it's an offense?
I don't know, because she told me that there's no name to go to Libya. That's why you say it's only way to Libya is the road. That is why.
Police Public Relations Officer of the Katsina Command, SP Gambo Isa, is promising that the perpetrators will be arrested and brought to book in due course.
As far as I go there, how much are you going to pay? It's probably like 250. Then you will start working on your ways now. Do you have a traveling document with you? If you are traveling to another country, you must possess passport, papers.
I send the money, so they want to do a passport for me.
Do you have it?
I send the money to her, but you think they can maybe...
But you can't travel without having the passport in your possession.
I've never given it to me, so that you have to go there, so you give me the passport, no problem. I sent the money, send everything to her, so that we do everything.
Are you aware of what is happening in Libya?
Similarly, the police said the suspects will be handed over to the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP.
The command is making frantic efforts to arrest the owner of the house, Wane Yahya Dahiru, male of Kalgo village, Daura, the house where these victims were rescued, and also the driver who took them into that dwelling house, one Masoud Dusha, male of Ankara village, Meadua local government area. Investigation is ongoing.
The police is urging the public to continue to synergize with the relevant authorities to track down criminals in Katsina State. Abdullahi Ismail, Trust Television News, Katsina.
One of the significant events that occurred during the week was World Press Day. As the world marked Press Freedom Day, the role of the Nigerian mass media in shaping public opinion that will recruit effective leadership is coming into sharp focus. Some journalists who spoke to Trust TV's Shafiu Suleiman are demanding for legislations that will guarantee a secured, professional and rewarding working environment. Here's the report.
The role of the journalist in shaping society has never been in question. But now it seems the press itself is being shaped by development in its working environment. Journalists believe the profession is facing critical challenges capable of undermining its prime role of holding leadership accountable to the people. And this is why the theme of this year's celebration, Journalism Under Digital Siege, is apt.
In the space of 3 years, we moved from 115 to 120. It also speaks to how free the press is. Then you also have economic implications for the press. Whether it is deliberate or not, there seems to be an agreement that the press or journalism, broadcast, whatever, needs to be economically emasculated.
We have the issue of dealing with fake and quack practices, people that are not well qualified. We have the issue of the media organization or the media owner organization that are not underpaying their staff.
As they grapple with the volatile working environment, some journalists have to contend with capacity deficit. The downside to this is that it limits the ability of practitioners to engage and interrogate those aspiring for leadership positions as the nation approaches another round of electioneering activities.
We must interrogate the facts. You know, we live in an age where you have politicians, you have establishment that have what we call either internet boys or keyboard warriors that continue to churn out unverifiable news.
And it is only with the freedom of the press that will be able to checkmate what the other politician has done, that it is yet to be known, to assess him for further or to the next level if we want him to be in office.
Expanding social media space is seen to be breeding unprofessional conduct by quacks, and this is posing a greater threat to the mainstream media. Journalists say it is imperative to tackle this challenge head-on, as it undermines the desire to have balanced and credible information. Shafiu Suleiman, Trust TV News, Abuja.
12 years after the late President Umaru Musa Yar'Adua died while still in office, Nigerians still remember him as a man of integrity and a unifier that never had enough of. And President Yar'Adua was elected as the Nigerian president in 2007, died on the 5th of May 2010 at the age of 56. Nana Muhammad has more.
I am fully confident that I am going to win this election by the grace of God.
The death of President Umaru Musa Yar'Adua in 2010 came to many as a shock, but to others it was expected due to his prolonged ailments and frequent hospital visits. Former President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan wrote a heartwarming message on his official Twitter handle in memory of his late boss, whom he described as a selfless leader, peacemaker, soldier of truth, and a true Democrat who was a servant leader and a good man. To some Nigerians, late Yar'Adua was the hope not only for Nigeria as a nation, but for the African continent.
I remember our late president, Umar Musa Yar'Adua, as a man of peace, as a man of integrity, a patriot and a committed Democrat. And he demonstrated these attributes through his policies, his programs, and the directive principle of his administration. He brought healing, and I mean national healing, to this country.
From Kwara, Kaduna, and Kano, some Nigerians sent in some heartwarming messages.
The country will know that you miss a leader who can call a spade, a leader who came out openly that the election that brought me into power is faulty. That's a leader, because he will be able to tell you exactly what is white instead of calling it black.
Let Umaru Musa Yar'Adua, our blessed memory, cannot be easily forgotten. This is because of his, I will say his attempt to review, to readdress the problems that seems to bedouble this country.
My brother, you agree with me that even our educational system was okay. The issue of strike and all this that is happening now was not there. Fuel, how much are we buying fuel that very time per liter compared to now? light and everything were stable. Even this insecure everything, he came out wholeheartedly to make sure that he cleared those things before God took him away. May his soul rest in peace.
He was a great leader, and Nigerians miss him because he had the fear of God and the principle of rule of law.
His death was mourned by thousands of Nigerians who believe that the situation in Nigeria today would have been different with a compassionate leader like the late president.
And still talking leadership, but now to political matters. A former governor of Ogun State, Ibikunle Amosun, is one of the people who is now aspiring to become president of Nigeria in 2023. He made the declaration in Abuja. Ekiti State Governor Kayode Fayemi attended the declaration event, and Senator Amosun unveiled an 8-point agenda through which, if elected, is expected to transform the country's fortunes.
Full-faceted approach to lift 100 million Nigerians out of poverty within a decade. Our ultimate goal will be to reactivate, regenerate, and give a new boost to our economy and public finance. As Chief Obafemi Awolowo described this mission in his charge to the nation in 1979, Nigeria's greatest resource is our people. Provided with enabling environment and supported by the provision of necessary infrastructure, Nigeria, particularly our youth, have shown both at home and abroad to have the capacity to transform our country into a globally competitive economy. Therefore, the twin pillars of the agenda that I will elaborate in the weeks ahead are national security and economic development.
Well, how time flies, and we have come to the end of this week's episode of Week in Review on Trust Television. For more updates, you can follow us across all our social media platforms. I am Martia Umar. Thank you for watching and stay tuned.